We'll start again. Good morning, everyone. Wow, that's pretty loud. I want to offer my heartfelt greetings to each and every one of you, and really sincerely thank each and every one of you for making the time and the trouble, the expense to come and be part of what is, I think, a very historic event here for Buddhism in America, this historic White House US Buddhist Leaders Conference. In the course of preparing for this, it has been my pleasure to get to know a number of you, and it's been one of the joys of doing this, and I look forward in both today and in the coming weeks and months of years getting to know you all better. These things don't happen. Things like this don't happen without the contributions of many, many people. It has something to do with this idea of independent origination. And so I want to take this moment to thank the folks who have been part of this organizing committee, and if you would, I will embarrass you and ask you just to stand up so we can acknowledge you. So I want to thank Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi, who is Bhikkhu Bodhi, he's here. Professor Sally King from James Madison. Sally, great. From the University of Southern California, Professor Duncan Williams. From the New York Buddhist Council, Venerable Reverend T.K. Nakagaki, who is here. From Washington's International Buddhist Committee, Matt Reagan. Matt, where are you there? He's in the back. And my own colleague, Danny Hall, who, oh, Danny's here. Okay, great. Danny, thank you very much. I also want to thank my own community, SGI, for generously supporting me with this idea and providing me the time to work on this project. So Danny, my boss is here. Danny, thank you very much. I'd like to talk for a few minutes about the purpose of our gathering. Of course, assembling 125 of the leading voices from throughout the U.S. Buddhist community is in and of itself a significant occasion. Meeting at the White House is kind of a big deal and a great encouragement to many. But it is my hope that this is not a one-time occasion, but rather that this be the beginning of an ongoing engagement, both with each other and with the people whom we have elected to lead us. I have a good friend, Akbar Ahmed. He's a Pakistani Muslim. He's the chair of Islamic Studies at American University here in Washington. He's a great public thinker. And during one conversation with Akbar, he said, you know, there are many religious voices in the public square today. He said, but the tone of those religious voices can be weighted a bit on the side of zealotry, can be weighted a bit on the side of obedience, can be weighted a bit on the side of righteousness. And he said, we really need the voice of wisdom. We really need the voice of compassion in the public square. And he really encouraged me. He said, the Buddhists really do need to get involved. And that's a sentiment that, having worked here in Washington in public affairs and in the interfaith world here in Washington, it's a sentiment I've heard over and over and over again. And so it's not only something that we might like to do, but I think it's something that our community really is calling us to do as well. Today we'll be talking about the threat posed by climate change and what to do about it, the threats posed by racism and racial injustice and economic injustice and what we might do about it, the threats posed by war and violence and what we might do about them. I don't know that we have to agree about everything. I don't think that would be possible. I think we'll have different approaches to how we in our various communities may choose to contribute in our society and how we'll engage the world. Some will focus on education, some on disaster relief, some on direct advocacy, etc. There's a passage from the 5th chapter of the Lotus Sutra which speaks of how each of us may respond differently to our encounter with the Dharma. It reads in part, "What falls from the cloud is water of a single flavor, but the plants and trees, thickets and groves each accept the moisture that is appropriate to its portion. All the various trees, whether superior, middling, or inferior, take what is fitting for large or small, and each is enabled to sprout and grow." So I think each of us, each of our communities, in what we gain from our practice of the Dharma, will have our own response, a way we feel most fitting to contribute. And I think that this is good. I really look forward to hearing. I know that many of you here are already engaged in really significant projects. And it's really good that we'll have a chance to hear from you, hear about them, both in some of the presentations here and later in the breakout groups. That's one of our key purposes here today, to just get to know everyone and what they're doing, and learning from each other in that respect. I do believe that we in our communities have much to offer each other. Here in Washington, maybe 1 year, like today, we're here at the White House and speaking with officials at the White House. And maybe next year at the Capitol, on the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue, that big domed building, to gather there and to be meeting with the legislators, the people who make the laws, and maybe learning from some of our colleagues in other faith-based communities about how they've been bringing their voices or their sense of moral imperative into this process, into the public square. So we're going to look forward to that maybe for next year, meeting at the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue. And we're hoping, year by year, to create a sustained engagement. We can gather, we can learn more, we can encourage each other, we can find ways to partner with each other that work. And each year we can let our leaders here in America know that Buddhism is one of America's great religious traditions. That's it for me. We have a number of really great speakers on our agenda, and I look forward to hearing from them, from learning from them. Looking forward to the breakout sessions coming up soon, we're going to be exploring just how to make the Dharma the basis of meeting the challenges that face us as a people and help create a healthier and more just planet. Thank you, and again, welcome.